Okay, man, that why GK.
Back out here, man.
Yeah, me
Gang,
too,
man.
man. Well, I'm gonna read you a bedtime story and tuck you in.
You know what I'm saying? When he passed away, I was still locked up for my murder case or whatever, so, you know, it was gonna happen regardless, man. Like, my whole community, his father's from my block, so like, Duck came to the funeral and everything, you know what I'm saying? The funeral was on my block, you know what I'm saying? But I made sure I reached out to my guys and told them, like, man, y'all gonna respect my baby mom, like all that. Y'all been, but my guys, like, it never was really like, they don't, one thing about my block, bro, they do them, man. They don't be looking for that shit, bro, you know what I'm saying? They don't inherit, it be just wanna fuck with who they wanna fuck with and just inherit.
The story of THF Raheem. This is the story of a 15-year-old boy, THF Raheem. He was the stepson of BAYZOO, a prominent member of THF46. He was also the cousin of FBG Duck from STL EBT, as well as cousins to FBG Brick, Mob Ruga, and Mob Scrap. From a very young age, Raheem showed notable skill and promise. His story, tragically, reminds many of other young Chicago figures who died far too early. These include Sincere Cole, Taekwon Tyler from Taekwon World, and Tuka from STL. Some of these youths were only between 12 and 15 years old when they lost their lives. But before diving into the details, it's important to send condolences to Raheem's family, friends, and loved ones. He was described as a good, innocent kid growing up on the south side of Chicago. However, as he got older, the line between teenage bravado and real danger blurred. Raheem crossed paths with some of Chicago's most notorious street figures.
Okay, man, that why GK.
Back out here, man.
Gang, man, let's see back out here, man. Hey, you know we out here early, gotta know we bang.
Bitch. Out here, man.
Brick's history of arrests and reckless behavior showed little capacity for guidance. Brick often posed with Raheem for photos, acting like family, but he offered little meaningful advice. The alley where Raheem was ultimately killed was on the edge of THF46 territory. It was likely a place he and his friends frequented. He nearly came face to face with some of the Southside's most feared 051 members. These included Yarmel Williams, better known as Melly, and Ario, who would later take Raheem's life. Raheem was shot in the back in that alley. 051's Ario was later interrogated and charged with the murder. The case went to trial. Without further delay, here is the story of THF Raheem. About a month after Lil Boo member Top General and founder of 600 was killed, Melly narrowly survived an assassination attempt. The shooter was 15-year-old THF Raheem. Melly, Ario, and Arrow were standing on the 6000 block of South Wentworth Avenue in Inglewood. Raheem spotted them and opened fire with a .22 caliber Beretta. Melly was hit in the head and foot. Ario took a bullet in his right shoulder. Arrow sustained a graze wound on his leg. Both Melly and Ario were rushed to Stroger Hospital. Their condition was serious to critical. They survived, largely because the gun was small caliber. 2 weeks later, Melly and Ario got revenge. One of them would later pay the price. Raheem and another 14-year-old, TF Twin, were on the 800 block of East 45th Street. They were in an alley near Cottage Grove Avenue. Melly and Ario spotted them. They opened fire. Twin was shot in the foot but survived. Raheem was killed on the scene with multiple shots to his back. The boy that got shot with Raheem. I remember it happened over the weekend, and when I went back to school on Monday, everybody was talking about it. He came the next day with a cast on his foot. His name is Punkin. His IG is THF46. Bruh from A-Block is his older brother. Ario was later arrested and convicted for the murder. He never implicated Melly. He is currently in federal custody awaiting sentencing. A year and a half later, Melly struck again. He took down 2 targets within 3 days. 12 hours before the first shooting, Bankroll Q from 051YM was killed at a party. The shooters were Lil Del, Smalls, Breeze from Folly Boys, and TY from GGE. 12 hours later, Melly was out in an SUV. The location was the 8800 block of South Marshfield Avenue. He spotted Lil Del, one of Bankroll Q's killers. He shot him multiple times in the chest. Lil Del, 18, real name Delvin Weston, was transported to Advocate Christ Medical Center. He was pronounced dead. 3 days after Lil Del, Melly struck again. This time his target was THF46. Trevon Dickerson was standing on the 6800 block of South Cornell Avenue. TTB Nez, Melly, and Tristo from 051YM spotted him in a gangway. They shot him multiple times. He was struck in the face and abdomen. Trevon, who also claimed the Marvin World set, was pronounced dead at 8:22 p.m. Melly, who lived nearby on the 6400 block of South Ellis, likely saw Trevon before following him. Melly's campaign had instilled terror in THF46. Catching 3 members of the same set is extremely rare. TF46 hated him and wanted him gone. Melly had done more damage to their ranks than anyone else. When Raheem was killed, BAYZOO was serving time for Dominic's murder. Raheem was BAYZOO's stepson. Once BAYZOO was released, he pursued Melly just as fiercely as Lil Durk. Both Dada and BAYZOO were chasing the contract Durk had put on Melly. On May 25, 2018, BAYZOO, Lil T from THF46, and Lil Steve from Lamron attacked Mubu. They almost caught Melly.
My chain back from because who the fuck you talking to? Just get my chain back. Y'all let them take my chain, man. Y'all let them take it. Y'all set me up. They ain't set them up. I let them go outside. They don't got shit to do with my
Damn, you hear right there, man. Out his mouth, he said, ain't nobody set him up, huh? So why you think he'd make the world think that, man?
You want to keep it.
Quint became the first confirmed THF46 member killed by 051. Only about a week following the murder of OTF THF Chino, one of the founding members of the 600 set known as Lil Boo 600, real name Jerome Anderson, was reportedly shot by an assailant driving a gold-colored vehicle. A member of 051, called 051 Ario, and whose real name is Arius Fitch, was apprehended later that same day as a suspect. Still, speculation circulated that Melly may have played a role, especially after Lil Boo 600's sister openly dissed Melly following her brother's death, telling him to greet her brother in the afterlife. Following OTF THF Chino's killing, rumors suggested that Lil Durk had placed a $150,000 bounty on Melly's life. While unverified, this didn't seem unlikely given the murder-for-hire charges Lil Durk is currently facing.
And they will attempt to do that by the witnesses that they place in the witness chair over here. They may call one or more witnesses. As it respects cases before the court and defendant Dirk Banks, 19 CP 183973, this court finds probable cause for criminal attempt to commit murder, aggravated assault, participation in crimes to 19 CP 183693 involving defendant Davon Bennett. The court finds probable cause for possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, participation in a criminal street gang activity, aggravated assault, indictments. I do believe that the state has hurdled over that particular burden. I think they've met probable cause and they have been able to surpass probable cause. I do believe that the state has more work to do as it relates to that particular charge in these indictments.
Police reports later described a bizarre moment during 051 Ario's arrest, in which he allegedly engaged in inappropriate behavior inside the interrogation room. During the trial, prosecutors argued that 051 Ario killed Raheem as retaliation for the earlier attack that injured Melly. Despite rumors suggesting Melly's direct involvement, and despite him openly dissing Raheem and implying participation,
Yeah, me too, man. Well, I'm gonna read you a bedtime story and tuck you in. Huh? You want me gonna read you a bedtime story and tuck you in? Tell you about this when he walked down this dark alley. He ain't make it to the other end of the alley. I was just reading the comments, bro.
On November 26th, a mass shooting occurred at a party on the 8800 block of South Exchange Avenue. After Raheem's death, Melly appeared to lay low for over a year. However, in November 2016, he allegedly returned to his spree of violence. On November 26th, a mass shooting erupted at a party on the 8800 block of South Exchange Avenue. The attack claimed the life of 18-year-old Dequan Barnett, also known as Bankroll Q from Melly's 051 Young Money set. It left 5 others injured. Online speculation later suggested the shooters were young individuals from the Malltown area of Chicago, historically linked to the Black P Stones. One participant, known as Breeze, reportedly boasted about the attack on social media. Less than 24 hours later, another life was taken. Around 2:03 p.m. the following day, 18-year-old Delvon Weston, known as Lil Del from the Folly Boys set, was sitting in a parked car on the 8800 block of South Marshfield Avenue in Auburn Gresham. A dark-colored SUV pulled up. Someone opened fire, hitting him multiple times in the chest. Despite being able to drive himself to Christ Medical Center, Del was pronounced dead at 2:22 p.m. Minutes after Del's death, 051 Melly posted on Twitter, "I'm an army alone," followed by another post implying celebration. He also uploaded a video, captioned, "Fino changed my clothes," showing himself in a car while another person brandished a gun, suggesting they had successfully hit a target. The individual in the video was relatively unknown in the drill scene at the time, but later became linked to Lil Durk's murder-for-hire case. Stefan Mack, who himself would be killed in 2022, allegedly in retaliation for Lil Durk's brother D-Thang's murder. Later, Melly's associates often posted on social media hinting that Dell's murder was connected to Bankroll Q's death, implying Melly's involvement. Yet, like many of Melly's alleged crimes, Dell's death remains speculative, based on rumors. In 2017, Melly allegedly committed a murder that nearly led to his capture. On June 13th at roughly 10:30 p.m., residents on the 5000 block of Drexel Boulevard reported gunfire. Police discovered 22-year-old Dandre Smith dead in a building gangway, his body riddled with bullets. Investigators determined Dandre, known as Lord Dre, was a friend of Melly. On the day of his death, Dre had allegedly been asked by Melly to participate in a robbery targeting a drug dealer. Investigators later claimed the plan was a setup to lure Dre in. Dre reportedly texted his brother to alert him he was with Melly in case anything happened. Melly and a woman named Tiara allegedly drove Dre to the building on Drexel Boulevard, where Melly shot him in the gangway. Investigators suggested the motive was tied to a $12,000 bounty on Dre's head, money Melly needed to post bail for his brother Wu, arrested 2 days earlier on weapons charges. Recorded jail calls allegedly revealed coded conversations between Melly and Wu regarding the plot. Despite this, police lacked sufficient evidence to charge Melly at the time. By late 2017, Melly's close ally Mubu Crump was released from federal prison after serving roughly 2 years. He quickly returned to trolling online, even releasing a track titled OTFK dissing Lil Durk, THF46, Lamron, and deceased figures like OTF THF Chino. In the early hours of May 25, 2018, Mubu Crump and Melly attended a party on the 6800 block of South Morgan Street, a few blocks from Lamron territory. While Mubu Crump, real name Ronald Crump, stood outside with another man, a passing car opened fire. Mubu Crump died from his injuries, while the other man survived after surgery. Rumors circulated that the second victim was Melly himself, the intended target. However, Melly denied this during an Instagram Live with Lil Durk's associate and F affiliate Bo from THF46. "If I was dead, I wouldn't be here. I'm trying to go home." There are many lessons we can learn from the story of THF Raheem. First lesson, the impact of environment on growth. One of the first lessons from Raheem's story is how the environment shapes a young person's life. Growing up in a neighborhood with high crime rates, limited opportunities, and exposure to violence can heavily influence decision-making. Even if a child has good intentions, constant exposure to negative behaviors, like drug dealing, gang activity, or disrespect, can normalize actions that are harmful. Raheem's story shows how environment plays a crucial role in shaping identity, values, and choices. Second lesson, the influence of peers and community. Raheem's story highlights the strong influence of peers. Young people are often affected by the people they spend time with. If a child's friends or older mentors are involved in risky or illegal activities, the child may feel pressured to follow the same path to belong or survive. This demonstrates the importance of positive role models and supportive community members in guiding youth toward productive and safe paths. Third lesson, the consequences of choices. Raheem's experiences teach that every choice carries consequences. When influenced by negative surroundings, some decisions can have long-term effects on one's future. His story shows that a momentary choice, such as getting involved in crime, can drastically alter the trajectory of life. This lesson emphasizes personal responsibility, even when external pressures are strong, and the importance of thinking through the long-term outcomes of our actions. Fourth lesson, the need for guidance and support. Another lesson is the importance of mentorship, family support, and guidance. Raheem, like many kids in challenging neighborhoods, faced situations where guidance from adults could have steered him differently. Lack of resources such as educational programs, safe spaces, or positive mentorship often leaves young people vulnerable to making harmful choices. This underscores the need for communities to invest in youth development and support systems. Fifth lesson, the role of systemic challenges. Finally, Raheem's story reflects broader societal issues, such as poverty, systemic inequality, and limited access to opportunities, that contribute to cycles of violence and crime. Individual choices matter, but they are deeply intertwined with structural challenges. Understanding this helps us approach stories like Raheem's with empathy, seeing both personal responsibility and the broader social factors at play. My final thought: Raheem was a very good kid, growing up in Chicago, full of potential and dreams. But the environment he lived in, combined with the presence of crime, peer pressure, and negative influences, slowly shaped the path he took. The people around him, whether through bad examples or lack of guidance, contributed to the choices he made. His story is a reminder that talent and goodness can be overshadowed by the challenges of one's surroundings, and it underscores the urgent need for support, opportunity, and positive influences for all young people growing up in difficult neighborhoods.